17. He is my kind of writer. Scary and makes you think. So please take a deep breath. Let me lull you to sleep. Let me guide you into another dimension. Halloween. Are we relaxed? Don't be afraid to tingle. Don't be afraid to fall asleep. You've got to let your body just relax and listen to my voice. Listen to my voice. Okay. Halloween. Lewis's nerves were frazzled. Between the creaky wrought iron gate blowing shut, the door latching behind him, and the strange candles mysteriously lighting by themselves. He was really regretting taking this job. When they told me I would be appraising old properties, I never thought they would send me to a creepy old house the day before Halloween. I just want to get this job done and get out of here. The house looked like it had been a thing of beauty back in its day. But apparently not anymore. Apparently not anymore. The huge crystal chandelier threw out a million tiny rainbows as the candlelight refracted. He stood in awe of its beauty. The pictures lining the wall were priceless masterpieces by Renoir, Van Gogh, and Picasso. Wow, I can't imagine what that was worth. It's no wonder the realtor wanted me to catalog this place. There must be millions just hanging on the wall. On the wall. On the wall. On the wall. He never knew about the 3 other trainees who had tried to appraise and ended up running off screaming. Lewis pulled out his notebook and started writing. He came to a piece that seemed innocuous at first. Innocuous at first, or harmless, except for the eyes. The eyes. I guess like the Mona Lisa. The eyes seem to follow him without moving. Lewis felt chills that had nothing to do with the temperature. He moved on to the next painting, oblivious to the face in the picture turning into a hideous beast and reaching for him, towards him. Some hidden instinct in Lewis's mind made him turn back towards the previous painting. In half a heartbeat, the creature resumed his pose. This place is messing with my head. He paused halfway up in the gargoyle, froze in place, when Lewis absently glanced over, nearly had a heart attack. Where did this hideous thing come from? Come from? Where did it come from? He made a note in his book and resumed his climb. He resumed his climb to the top of the stairs. He was so involved with his numbers that he never noticed the black cat, and kept walking oblivious. A lone bone got his attention. He looked up to see a shadow of mist. Floating near the ceiling. It looked like a cloud. With eye sockets and a mouth. Just as he thought, the corners of his mouth moved up to form a smile. Oh my God, he screamed, backpedaling. He stomped on the tail of the cat he did not know was there. The cat hissed at him and he jerked away from it, tripping over his own feet and tumbling down the stairs. He landed with a sickening snap. The mist floated down and saw Lewis's head bent at an unnatural angle. The gargoyle and the cat came down to see as well. The beast from the painting lumbered over, picked up Lewis's head and let it fall with a thunk. Lewis did not move. His open, unseeing eyes had glazed over. The beast looked at the others. Damn it, he said, then kicked the cat and went back to his portrait. The gargoyle looked at the mist, then called after the beast. What do we do with the body? The body. Leave it, the beast growled. Maybe it will scare the next unfortunate soul to give grace or to grace our presence. The gargoyle shrugged, went back to his post and fell asleep. The mist drifted back to its place on the ceiling. The beast went back to his painting. None of them saw Lewis' spirit rise and hover over them. What the hell? He looked down at his broken and twisted body. Oh no. He touched his face and his head flopped over. Oh, the cat that was sitting in the corner, licking. His paw immediately jumped up and hissed. Lewis grabbed it by the neck and picked it up. It hissed, clawed and bit it at its invisible assailant. I guess he's not licking his paws anymore. For this part, Lewis was astounded with the total absence of pain. The cat should have been tearing him to shreds, but it was not. In fact, the cat did not seem to know which direction to claw at, so it was trying all of them at once. It was quite comical. Lewis came to a revelation. stories of plastic-covered furniture, and it looked like it had not been lived in for a long time. The basement held an old wood burner furnace along with various tools. Lewis's eyes locked on two items that made him grin. He tested the power outlets with an old lamp, and much to his surprise, he found the house still had power. With mischief and revenge in his mind, he started working on a plan. The mist woke feeling a little off. It was not feeling like itself today. It hovered down from the ceiling and felt drawn towards something on the floor. The closer it drifted, the stranger it felt. When he reached the floor, he realized why. Someone had set out a dehumidifier. Really? It turned to drift away when Lewis shoved a shop vac hose right in the middle of it and flicked the switch on. No. Within seconds, the mist was trapped inside the vacuum. Lewis quickly pulled a heavy-duty trash bag over it and sealed the whole thing up. Then he lifted it up, carried it through the window and outside. Oh no, Gargoyle and Beast were startled awake by the noise, then rushed up the stairs half a heartbeat after Lewis disappeared with his victim. What just happened? Gargoyle asked Beast. Beast did not answer right away. He looked around the room. And he found the still running dehumidifier. His eyes narrowed. We have an intruder. But that's not possible. Tell Mist that. I don't understand. You fool, someone has taken Mist. The sound we heard was a vacuum. What? They said a dehumidifier is bait, then sucked him in, literally with a vacuum. But how is that possible? He would have known if anyone was here. Would he? B said, looking at the now extinguished candles. So I guess he's becoming part of the house. After Lewis had taken care of the mist, he came back to the house. He bypassed the Beast's picture and he went for the gargoyle. When he searched the house, he came across a suitcase. It was one of the good ones that the gorilla threw down the stairs in the old commercials. Lewis slightly approached the gargoyle. He spread the suitcase wide, enveloped the horrid creature, quickly snapped the cage shut and flew out of the window. The banging from within began almost immediately. Lewis flew to his planned destination, threw the case in an empty garbage truck and threw the lever to compact the trash. The case started jumping around and spinning as if the Tasmanian devil was trapped inside. Slowly it disappeared from view and the noise abruptly ceased. 2 down, 1 to go. Lewis flew back in through the front door. Immediately the candle sprang to life. So now he is an intruder, illuminating an unwelcome light or sight. So you have returned, the Beast said. I thought it was you when I remembered that I never saw your spirit leave your body. I deduced that either your spirit went while I was distracted or you were invisible. Lewis was dumbfounded. He did not dare speak. This creature had caught him red-handed and he knew exactly where he was. Or did he? Lewis slowly drifted to the right, but the Beast's eyes did not follow him. Okay, he's bluffing about knowing where I am. I need to come up with a plan fast. He floated through the floor, opened up the furnace, and started talking through the pipes. You caught me having a little fun, you. Beast started a low murmur that turned into a chant. Louis never felt such incredible pain. It was as he could do. It was all he could do to stay focused on his task, his only hope. The pain finally overwhelmed him, and he cried out, "Gotcha," the beast said. He rushed upstairs and found a strange image. Writhing on the floor was Louis. He appeared to be made of heat waves like you would see on the highway on hot days. Beast approached, still chanting, "Too bad you mastered your skills too quickly. It's a shame to have to destroy you." Beast began to chant again when he glanced up at the wall and saw a blank space where his picture should have hung. "Where is it?" he bellowed. Louis struggled through the pain to grasp out the words. "Burn, bitch." Beast began to glow from the inside. Realizing he had been fooled, he stumbled toward the basement. The glow inside him grew brighter. It consumed him as he rolled down the stairs. He crawled into the furnace and looked inside to see the last piece of his painting burned to cinders. He opened his mouth to scream. Only flames came out. His body succumbed to immolation and fell to ash on the floor. Louis began to feel better right away and came down to clean up the mess. The cat watched, still mystified. "You know, this house is starting to grow on me. I think I'll stick around." The next night was Halloween, and Louis made sure the front porch light was on. my jailers only know the smallest fraction of what I've done. My early work when I was sloppy and stupid. Sloppy and stupid. I call it my awkward stage. So I sit on this plastic mattress and wait, as I have for years, for the inevitable. They come for me with somber faces. The steel door will slide open. Out. Out. I know this will be the last time I walk this filthy prison hall. We come to a small room with my old clothes sitting on a counter. Change. I guess they do not want their jumpsuit ruined. Wash it and put another body in it. They herd me into another room and take me to sign papers. A man in a suit is talking, but I'm barely listening. Why are they prolonging this? Certain words grab my attention. Commuted, rehabilitated, pardon, paroled. He reaches out to shake my hand. I grasp it, unsure of what game he's playing. The others all wear angry looks as they open the door. Hesitantly, I step out into the open air. I slowly walk toward the gate. More angry looks. The gate opens and I step over the invisible line to freedom. As I look down at my hands, a smile creeps across my face. Hello, Dolly. I'm not really sure why I continue to put up with her abuse. They say that prisoners held in captivity begin to bond with their captors. I can imagine such a thing. My captivity began a long time ago. As with any relationship, it started out wonderful. She took care of me, showered me with affection, snuggled me every night. We were inseparable. It was the best time of my life. But then came Lydia. Lydia was new, she was fresh, and Dolly fell for her right away. When you have a relationship with someone, one of the worst things that could happen is watch that relationship crumble. The second worst is to be forced to watch the one who replaced you be deliriously happy. I'm not sure if Dolly was sadistic or just didn't think about it. I sat in my penthouse, surrounded by all the pretty things I could want, but none of that mattered. No, it didn't. None of it mattered. As beautiful as it was, and I was in a silent hell waiting for the time that this new relationship would sour, and she would come running back to me. When that day came, it was bittersweet. I watched as Lydia was cast aside, and I became vindictively happy. But Dolly did not return to me. She found another. Buffy was a cheerleader, go figure. I could see the attraction right away. She had a great set of pom-poms. Once my bitterness wore off, I found myself in the inevitable position of having to comfort Lydia. It was not easy, showing compassion to the one who just stole my love from me. But I slowly came to realize that she had been used as well. And so the cycle went on and on. Around every 6 months, Dolly would replace her current love for a newer model. Eventually, room became an issue. She refused to let us go to another, so we went from the penthouse to the bottom floor, and eventually the box. The box was unconscionable. Imagine being shoved into a crate with 20 others, no daylight, no comforts, thrown in a pile. was crushed. It took most of the day for me to convince myself that I had just, I don't know, it just must have been a simple misunderstanding. That night we wrote a new note. It's not Bobby, we really miss you. Please do not throw us back in the box. Her look this time was uncertainty mixed with a little fear. Little fear, little girl. Her little Bobby, I swear I will destroy every one of your video games if you do not stay out of my stuff. She threw us back in the box, but before she did, she stopped and stared into my eyes as if trying to see something that was just below the surface. The next night we tried a different route. When we woke, the four of us sat in the penthouse and her newest conquest laid at the bottom of the box. This time, the fear was evident in her face. She threw us in a bag and put us out on the curb. It was child's play to rip open the bag and go back through the pet door. But the die had been cast. We realized that our once friend had become our mortal enemy. Now we had a stealth on our side, an element of surprise. Our first objective was to divide. We captured all of her remaining dolls and taped them up and threw them out to the trash. When we watched as she turned on Bobby, the resulting fight kept them both grounded for 2 weeks. Thus encouraged, we went on a mission of driving Dolly crazy. At night, we would make all kinds of scratching noises mixed with growls. On some nights, we would whisper dark things in her ear. Soon we noticed a change in Dolly. She had a blank, vacant stare. She no longer smiled. She jumped at any noise. We knew we were getting through. Her parents knew something was wrong too. Her mom tried to cheer her up by buying Dolly a brand new doll. She recoiled in fear when she opened the package. That night, Dolly seemed calm, almost serene. We decided she needed a little more of a push. Well, we approached to whisper in her ear, but she had only feigned sleep and grabbed us. I managed to slip out of her fingers as she took the others outside. She bound them with duct tape and tossed them into the burn barrel, then lit a bag of trash under them and watched them burn. I looked away but could still hear their screams. She came back inside and collapsed in her bed. Lying under it, I waited until I heard her deep breathing before I flicked the lighter to life and held the flame up to her mattress. That is one vindictive doll. Last ride, 9:13 p.m. The fair is closed. Blared over the intercom system, please exit to your vehicles. Most people were on their way out already, except for those who had to know. They huddled around the ride in a throng, jostling for position to see the unthinkable. 8:45, Kevin closed his eyes and held them shut as the machine finally stopped. Covered in blood and shaking like a leaf, he refused to look at Randy's shredded body embedded in the drive cable. 8:43 p.m. Another trip around, another blood shower. Kevin held the phone to his head and his shirt over him like an umbrella, hoping to keep some off of him. Yes, the Ferris wheel, he said into the phone for the third time, the chair in front of mine. 8:41 p.m. Randy's body finally stopped twitching. The corpse flopped against the metal as the wheel screamed as the drive cable crushed his hands. Again, he struggled for footing and slipped, throwing his leg in between the cable and the groove in the wheel as the cable tightened. His leg was compressed, then broken, then amputated in a matter of seconds. Kevin received his first shower as Randy's femoral artery was severed. 8:37 p.m., Randy's hand slipped. He grabbed whatever he could to avoid falling. Unfortunately, grabbed the drive channel just as the cable settled into it. His hands were crushed, causing him to scream in agony. 8:35 p.m., the cart swung open, throwing Randy towards the ground. Only by sheer luck did he stick his hand out and grab a support beam. Shit, he screamed as the ride continued at full speed. He jammed his foot in between two supports as the ground quickly approached. He tensed to jump. He let go with his hands, expecting to fall, but his foot was now stuck fast and turned at an unnatural angle, breaking the first bone of many. 8:33 p.m. Hey, my chair is shaking badly. Randy yelled at the attendant, who looked at him with annoyance. They leaned over and pulled on the brake. Nothing happened. He punched the emergency stop button, but the ride continued to unabated. Randy started upward again when the bolt snapped. 8:30 p.m. Randy sat down in his chair as the attendant looked very stoned, buckled a leather strap across his lap. Will that really save my life? He asked. The kid just shrugged. You never know. 7:45 a.m. The Ferris wheel attendant sat in his tent with the guy who ran the scrambler. The haze that hung in the air smelled sweet. I guess we should go do our safety checks, he slurred to the other. Screw that, they do not pay me enough. Besides, in the 2 years I've worked here, I've never done a single safety check, and nothing has happened so far. Nothing has happened so far. I'm gonna put that there. Missing. Panic gripped John's heart as he stood in the doorway. No, she was right here. The massive, crowded Cathedral of Commerce sprawled out before him, the lights and sounds all programmed to ease shoppers into buying. My God, she could be anywhere. He ran through the toy section for the first time, then did another frantic lap around the store, checking each aisle. Can I help you, sir? An older woman in a clerk's smock asked. I cannot find my granddaughter. Have you looked through the toy section? Yes, I've been searching for an hour. Management, we have a code 7, she said into her radio. I don't understand. She was right beside me and then she was gone. What am I gonna do? I have to find her. Who knows what kind of sick freak has run off with her. Calm down, sir. Calm down. My name is Lucy. We will look for her. I'm sure everything will be just fine. Have you watched the news lately? The rash of abductions that have taken place in this area? I'm sorry, sir. I do not have much time to watch the news. What's the problem? Said a young man in a dress shirt and tie. Sir, this man says he can't find his granddaughter, Lucy said. Did you get the description? No, sir. The young man shot her withering glare. I'm sorry, sir. My name is William. Could you describe your granddaughter for me? He said. I'm John. She's 8 years old, but she has long black hair, blue eyes, and she was wearing a yellow dress. Okay, Lucy, you pass that description on to the other clerks. Sir, please come with me. Where are you taking me? He said hesitantly. To the video room. We'll see if we can spot her on the cameras. We just have to find her. John wrung his hands as he followed William down a series of corridors until they stopped in front of a door that said security. William unlocked and beckoned John inside. The wall was full of dozens of TV screens, each showing a different part of the store. John was quite overwhelmed by it. Have a seat, please, William told him. John sat and watched the endless parade of faces and colors march by on the screen. Suddenly, they all stopped and began walking backwards. What's happening, John asked. I'm rewinding back through the records to see if I can find her. Find who? Josephine, your daughter. Oh yeah, right. They want John's meeting with Lucy take place at high speed. As William kept rewinding, watching John wander from monitor to monitor. Is there anyone I can tell to see if maybe she somehow made her way home? He asked. You could call my wife. John recited off a phone number. William dialed the number and watched the monitors as reports came in from all sections of the store. No one had seen the girl in their section. The phone rang once, and then an automated voice said the number had been disconnected. Are you sure you gave me the right number? John recited it back again. It was the same. William looked at the time on the rewinding video. He had gone back 5 hours, and John was still wandering around the store. My God, it took 5 hours for someone to notice a man in distress. Someone's getting fired for this. William had just picked up the phone to call the police, then slowly placed the receiver down. John, are you sure you brought your granddaughter to the store today? Of course I did. Why are you asking me this when you should be finding her? Well, this is you on this monitor walking through the door 6 hours ago. Alone. I know she was with me. I'll back up some more. This monitor shows you pulling in the parking lot and getting out of your pickup alone. But that's not possible. William called a security guard. John sat there looking confused, eyes darting back and forth as though searching for something that was not there. William pointed out John's truck and said, I need you to go look at that vehicle. Tell me if there's anyone in it. Yes, sir, he said, the guard. A few minutes later, the call came over the radio. Sir, there's no one in the truck. Oh, good, he sighs. But the inspection tags on this truck expired 2 years ago. Thank you, William said into the radio. John, when was the last time you saw your doctor? John recoiled in his seat. Who are you? Where am I? Why am I here? Am I in trouble? Am I in trouble? Night. It was one of those nights. The fog hovered in the air like a curtain waiting to rise on a show I could and would never forget. Being called into work early on 3 hours sleep was bad enough. Driving through fog that is so thick you can feel it holding back the car makes for an interesting morning. It started with the floating legs. As I drove, I saw a pair of blue jeans. Standing alone, the side of the road, just the legs. It was like someone had stood half a mannequin beside the road to freak people out. As I came closer, I could see there was a black hoodie on top of them and a vaguely human form. The head turned towards me, but I could not see anything inside the hood. The chill went up my spine as my foot went down to the accelerator. I was so freaked out that I never saw the deer running straight toward me. was not until it was right beside my car that I noticed it. It startled me so bad that I swerved to miss it and ended up on the side of the road I'd never driven or even seen before. I had not gone far before I calmed down and realized I had made a wrong turn. I stopped in front of a road sign that mesmerized me. It had once been a standard deer crossing sign, the one with the silhouetted buck leaping in the air. However, this one had been modified by a talented artist. The painted additions made the deer enormous, bigger than a moose. It also had a mouthful of shark-like teeth, a spiked tail, and glowing red eyes. The sight of this fanciful creature should have made me laugh, but after the morning I'd had, it chilled me to the bone. I immediately did a 3-point turn and floored it. I made it maybe 100 yards. My front tire, which was not in the greatest shape, gave in to the stress and had a catastrophic blowout. This, plus my speed, sent me careening off the road and into a deep ravine. At least that is where I woke up, in a deep ravine. I willed my blurry eyes to clear and was immediately sorry I had. Every window was shattered, tree limbs shot this way and that, all through the car's interior. It looked like the love child of Anna Buick. An Indiana Buick. My seatbelt held me fast in my seat, and the deflated airbag laid out before me like a miniature blanket of snow. I leaned forward and was twice rewarded. The first pain, my chest and arms felt like they were on fire. The second was the realization that I was not on the ground. The car creaked and groaned when I moved. My demolished car stood straight up, resting precariously on a large tree limb. I could not see how far it was to the bottom because of the same fog that got me into this predicament. Okay, this is bad. I can't even hope for help. No one would ever see me down here. To keep myself calm, I did some physical assessment. Toes wiggled. That's good. Right leg bends. Left leg. Oh my god, I'm gonna call. Feeling like I've been stabbed by 1,000 knives. Bad. I leaned forward just enough to see my leg. My pants were covered in blood. I tried to reach the wound, but stopped when the branch made a crackling sound. Okay, we will come back to that. Moving on. Lower abdomen seems okay. My ribs feel like they're the main course of at a barbecue, and my arms shooting daggers every time I try to move them. The most disturbing part of this is the lack of blood on my shirt. Okay, end assessment. Possible broken leg, possible broken ribs, possible internal bleeding, car destroyed, hanging precariously in a tree that could get pretty much out and send me falling to my death at any minute. Low possibility of rescue due to early morning hour fog and being out of sight of the road. So essentially, I'm dead. The worst part of all of this was being alone with my thoughts, knowing that death was on its way and there was nothing I could do about it. All these thoughts disappeared as a slight breeze made the hair on my neck stand up and I heard a low rumble. I slowly faced to turn the noise and wondered if I was hallucinating. Out of the fog, I saw 2 huge red orbs coming steadily towards me. said. "Good morning," I rasped back. "My name's Sheriff Seacrest. I realize this is not the best time, but I need to ask you a few questions about your accident." "Okay. From the skid marks on the road, I figured you were doing at least 80 when your tire blew. Any reason you were going so fast? Am I under arrest?" The sheriff studied me for a moment. "No, you're not under arrest. Just trying to figure out what happened." "I was scared," I said, barely above a whisper. "Scared of what?" "Of whatever was in the fog." "So what was in the fog?" I lay quiet for a moment. Actually, for a long time. I wrestled with the implications of telling someone else what I saw. I wasn't even sure myself. My imagination. The sheriff seemed a little disappointed. "So how did your car get out of the tree, drag 100 yards, and set on the side of the road?" "I don't know, Sheriff. I wish I had the answers for you, but I blacked out when I landed in that tree and woke up here." "And that's all you remember?" "Yes, sir." "Was there any wildlife around?" "Oh, what do you mean, wildlife?" "Oh, you know, squirrels, foxes, deer," he said, emphasizing the last word. Nothing. Not that I saw. Like I said, I blacked out." He closed his notebook. "Thank you for your help. I hope you recover soon." "I hope so too." The sheriff started for the door, stopped, turned back, and looked into my eyes as if he desperately wanted to say something. Then faltered and said, "You are very lucky
your stress out. Yes, 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 yes. Alright. Okay, we're shaking out all the stress. All of the stress. Take a deep breath.
focus on these. That's why I like the, I don't know, there's something about these that focus on. You focus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, 121, 122, 123, 124, 125, 126, 127, 128 okay. The way you are, you don't have to be anybody else. That's the beautiful thing about you, is that you're you. And you aren't anybody else. You have so many talents. This is our relaxation. Nice and soft. Nice and soft. Nice and soft. It's a little loud for me.